did you... Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall! It does? Oh, sod it. If people find out about this, my business will be ruined. They'll think I have something to do with Jarvia. Dead? How? Did you... You did, didn't you? You killed her. And then you climbed out of there into my shop. Oh, just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this. And if anyone comes asking, I'm gonna tell them you did it. You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop? Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her. You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another... I stay out of politics. Look, but the Idukans have served us well. And you...
You're back? But it takes two...
What?
I'm guessing you haven't left yet. I'll be waiting.
Can you believe it? Ogren's barely even warrior caste anymore, and he just clomps in here like he's entitled. It's been 2 years since Bronca left. No one has ever stayed in the deep roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Ogren wants to keep risking lives searching. Chasing some old treasure. She was quite secretive. Outright rude, really. She said she never asked if found a house, that she didn't care about politics, and that we were too self-absorbed to defeat the Darkspawn. She actually threatened anyone who said they'd come after her. She invented a smokeless fuel that let the Smith caste increase their output by nearly a third. Deaths from the Black Lung also dropped. The Assembly said she had the favor of the ancestors and declared her a paragon. They moved Bronca, Ogren, and all their relatives to the noble caste and founded a new house in her name. Well, before she was a paragon, she was just a smith, and Ogren was one of the best warriors of his generation. It's been 2 years since Bronca left. No one has ever stayed in the deep roads that long and survived. The search teams who went out found nothing, but Ogren wants to keep risking lives searching. Ogren's a drunken wretch. He comes up here 2-3 times a week, hounding people to lead some suicidal rescue mission after Branka. Gets quite violent about it. I'd be scared if they hadn't practically gelded him after he killed young Lord Mino. Well, he killed Lord Mino's youngest son in a duel to first blood. It was a huge scandal. Ogren should have been executed, but he'd won honors in the deep roads. Instead, they stripped him of all weapons and forbid him from engaging in fights within city limits. If he breaks the decree, he'll be exiled. Did you see any guardsmen? Tell them Ogren was at it again.
Well, you've simply outdone yourself. They're talking all over the city about how someone finally went through Dust Town and slaughtered the Carta like Genlocks. Everyone in Orzammar agrees. You have done the city a great service. I promise as soon as I take the throne, I will send the troops you need. Unfortunately, I cannot say when. While many Dashers appreciate my ending Jarvia's threat, Harriman still holds great loyalty. We need something more dramatic to shift the balance. What do you know of the Paragon Branka? 2 years ago, she heard of something the Ancients created. It inspired her to leave everything behind and venture into the deep roads. She is the only Paragon in 4 generations, and she turned her back on her responsibilities. A Paragon is like an ancestor born in this time. If she returned, her vote would outweigh the entire assembly. Anyone with her support could take the throne unchallenged. I was hoping you could use your legendary charm to persuade her that the rightful king should take the throne. However, if the deep roads have addled her wits, it might be best she not return before the kingship is decided. I did not know her personally. 2 years ago, I was still considered a child, not one to consort with Orzammar's finest. From what I hear, her intellect was unrivaled, but the social graces were beneath the notice of one so gifted. I was hoping you could use your legendary charm to persuade her that the rightful king should take the throne. However, if the deep roads have addled her wits, it might be best she not. She had an entire house with her, dedicated to her protection. With the number of ruins still intact, they could last for a long time. And Harriman is looking as well. It's too risky to assume she's dead only to have him take credit for finding her. Then we will both go down in history as a Paragon's saviors. So far, my men have traced Branka to Caridin's Cross, an ancient crossroad lost to the Darkspawn 4 centuries ago. Her trail ends there. Perhaps with your Warden's expertise, you can find what my men could not. You must enter the deep roads through the mines. To protect the city, that's the only path we leave open. Caridin's Cross lies many miles deep into the tunnels. It was once a main thoroughfare, but before Branka, no one had stepped foot there in generations. You have my thanks. Seek her in Caridin's Cross. I will try to delay the vote until you return. What are you still doing here? Harriman's teams are searching for Branka as we speak.